Hey crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John.
And I'm Curtis.
So hopefully everyone is having an amazing Sunday afternoon, evening, whatever it may be.
Someone else in.
Hopefully it's not Monday morning where you're at, but if it is, welcome. Hey Danielle, thanks for joining. So sorry, I have been trying to rearrange the craft room a little bit today, and that has somewhat been successful or not. So
Here. Hi, Katrina.
Russ is here and he says Curtis needs a mic. So do we want to say why Curtis doesn't have a mic?
No. Well, you can say.
Curtis is more camera shy, so he really doesn't want to be on camera or there. But we will. We have a mic for him in the drawer. He just never puts it on.
Beverly Aikens is here.
Hey Beverly, welcome in. Katrina, thanks for joining us this evening, this afternoon. It's been crazy here. It's warm. It's so amazing, the weather and the changes that we have had here so quickly. It's just funny to me how quickly our weather changes.
Maureen says hi, John and Curtis.
Hey, Maureen, how are you? So this weekend, we got a lot of things done. It felt like. Yes.
Yes, we did.
We stayed around home. We did do a little shopping this weekend. So this week, I am just finishing editing a couple of shopping sprees that we um, somehow managed to do this weekend because we absolutely needed more stuff. We didn't have enough projects and enough things going, so had to go out and buy more. You know how that is.
Oh, Russ says if I get on mic regularly, he'll come to Phoenix for QuiltCon.
Oh, look at that. He has a mic. It's wired, but he has a mic. So we may have to get that plugged in. Next weekend, we have, next weekend we'll be at the park home for Memorial Day weekend. Hey, Lorraine, thanks, Lorraine. Thanks for dropping in. And yes, we were watching Quilt Meets World right before things started. And so that is still playing in the background. It's interesting as we started doing crafting, we're Best Buy Geek members, Tech Squad members, or something. But basically, what that means is for like $150 a year, they'll come to your house and do different things. So they ended up putting our security cameras in, our Ring doorbell, and all that.
Yeah.
So all that installation was free because
Yes.
we're Tech Squad members. Then when we decided I started doing more crafting, I decided I wanted a TV in the utility room. So we bought a cheap TV. They came and installed it, hung it on the wall, did all that. Then when I moved in this room, we bought another TV. So usually we're streaming YouTube in 3 rooms at the same time, and it's usually all different channels in every room, which really makes it confusing when you're bouncing back and forth. Um,
Did you want to tell them a little bit about the shopping spree for today?
oh, so um, coming up this week, you will see a shopping spree from today. I actually went to a local quilt shop, and I love the quilt shop, but they don't run many bargains. So, when you go to different ones, they're always giving you different sales and discounts and all this. This one tends to be a little bit more conservative with that. But they do always have some great clearance stuff. And we had not been there for a long time. So when you see the recording on that, you'll see that we definitely went overboard. And I say we because somebody else went with me and was picking fabric as quick as I was picking it. And as you can see, we have no room for any more fabric. So today we ordered 8 more bins because Curtis has an idea of what to do with some of the fabric. So we shall see.
Sally's here. Hi, Sally.
Oh, hey, Sally. Thanks for joining. Sally is always busy with her grandson. I think he keeps Sally busy, and she's always working on some cool projects. Be curious what you're all working on. It's interesting. I am ready to start piecing together the marine quilt and the University of Louisville quilt that I have been working on for multiple weeks with you all, because it seems like this is the only day I end up sewing. I did sew last night because I started playing with my other machine because I wanted to use it instead. So that's part of the problem. I just keep bouncing between machines. I have set out multiple projects to take up to the park home next weekend. So we'll go up Thursday after work. We'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and drive back down early Tuesday to be in the office. And I'm hoping that I might be able to do some quilting up there, um, more project bags and things like that. But um, we'll see. I'm anxious to get up there. Supposedly they were putting the screened in room in this past week and this week, which includes building, the half walls and the um, ceiling fan and all that kind of stuff. They've got the privacy fence to put up, and they have to build out the two porch steps for both the doors. So I'll be anxious to see if they got all that done. Their plan was to have everything done so it would be all of ours when we got up there. Okay, so Russ is bragging. Did you see what Russ said?
Russ says he just started and finished 2 quilt tops this week.
Yes. I mean, look at that. And Danielle on her channel today, she was going crazy. So I think I bet you she's got a lot of things done too. Sally says she's crocheting a baby
Afghan.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's due any day.
Oh, he's due any day. She better keep going.
And Beverly said she's sewing sampler blocks and dresses for Project Dress a Girl.
Oh, I've never heard of Project Dress a Girl. We'll have to Google that and see what that is. Oh, so Russ confesses and goes, he was off this week, which helped. And yes, it does. So that's what I'm really hoping that I can make some headway next week, next weekend. It just seems like we run so much. And I think that's why I'm enjoying the park home, because when we go up there, we don't tend to leave really the house that much. Now, I know next Saturday we want to go up to Strawberry Pine.
Yes. Jeannie's here. She says hi.
Hey, Jeannie. Because Strawberry Pine has a big craft fair, and they do it Memorial Day weekend, July 4th weekend, Labor Day weekend. And I think that's the only 3 weekends. And we may venture out. We're going to go just to see what it's like. And it is a juried show, so it'll be interesting to um, see what that means. I've done that on the East Coast and understand how strict some shows are, and again, it's just so much different being out here. That their idea of craft shows is much different. But I'm anxious to see, because if that works out, we will probably have. We might actually do the craft show July 4th and maybe even Labor Day. I think our plans are to be back there Labor Day.
Yes, they are. So we'll have to see.
Oh, Sally says she needs 2 more rows, but now she needs more yarns. It's in the stash, then send it to Florida. She got a lot of things going on.
Katrina says she's going to start a couple of quilted hugs this week.
Oh, I like the quilted hugs. We just actually bought rug mugs the other day. I don't know where I put those. Curtis has said that he's going to redo all this mess up here that's on the pegboard and make that look better. And he's going to organize all the fabrics and help get that organized. Because when he's done organizing it, we probably won't need a 3rd bookshelf for fabric.
No.
But if we do, we don't know where we're going to put it. But we did buy a lot of fabric this weekend. I did?
We did.
We did.
But
Thank you.
We have those bins that are coming too, so that'll kind of help with saving up some space too. We'll put our panels in that. We're going to divide them up. I'm going to divide them up, the best that I can for it by either holiday or by season. and then that will free up some space because you can always go up, and you can always go up to the top. Not you can't always go left to right and go wide. You can always go up. So that works.
So Danielle says, I got all those blocks snowball trimmed, ironed, ready to put together. See, that'll be for 2 or 3, excuse me, quilt tops they had. Then had mine. See, Curtis is in here because he's supposed to read these
She
to
said, I
me.
got all those blocks snowball, trimmed, ironed, ready to put together for 2 to 3 quilt tops. Then I had my member 4-hour Zoom, went grocery shopping, did dishes, and ate dinner. She's
Wow.
a whirlwind.
I was gonna say she busy little girl, right? I mean, 4 hours. I can't imagine. Um, we're getting good about doing the hour for the live. Eventually, I think, especially as we get better with more projects, we'll definitely probably go a little bit longer. But it's just so crazy. Loane said he just noticed the Kona Color Wheel calendar. That was part of the subscription that I bought because I'm doing block of the month for Kona this year. And so that was the December Christmas gift they gave us for signing up for the block of the month. So it's been kind of cool.
Yeah.
We did go, one of the things that we found in the quilt store that we went today was an entire Tula Pink collection. But I have to say, we weren't thrilled with that collection. It's the new collection, I guess, but it had all these weird animals.
Yeah, it did. It was just, I mean, it looked good from a distance, but when you pulled out the actual bolt and looked at what was all on the fabric, it just wasn't very appealing when you looked at it up close.
Yeah, so for us, it just didn't resonate. I do want to do some Tula Pink things, and I will continue to look out for Tula Pink. They did have, I guess, the last collection with the polka dots and all that, which we did like much better, but they didn't have a layer cake or anything like that. I'd already had enough fabric cut that I didn't want to do that. Plus, they want $15 a yard for the Tula Pink stuff. So
Luane said, "Don't worry, Ian will buy all the Tula fabric."
Right. Tell you what, there's several of them out there that are obsessed with that. I think Russ also likes his Tula Pink.
And Katrina says she likes Jason Yenter fabric better than Tula.
Oh, we'll have to look at that then. So write that down and we'll Google that later. Because I don't know who that is off the top of my head. All right, I'm trying to thread the machine and talk at the same time. How cool is that? And I did it. How awesome is that? Go me. So I am not anxious to get started at work this week. I have a lot of crazy things going on. But it is how I make money and it is how I pay for all the toys that I have to have. And yes, Curtis, I have to have toys. Yes,
Absolutely.
Curtis knows. So you can't say, well, do you have to have them? Yes, John has to have his toys. He loves his toys. So even my kids know that. They've always known that Dad loves toys. So that much I haven't outgrown.
I was making some notes on that, and it looks like Russ says he may be addicted to Tula. Katrina wanted me to look up in the beginning fabric, so I added that to the list as well. And Luane says, did y'all hear that Alexander Henry Fabrics is closing down?
I don't know. So I don't think I have anything, Alexander, but we will take a look there as well and just see what's what. All right, I got to slide off camera for a minute to get a piece of scrap so I can.
That's okay. We can just look at Russ up on the TV screen.
Oh, if I could reach that. All right, let's make sure I got my machine threaded correctly. Curious how you all do with your craft rooms and your sewing space and that. It just seems like the more space we make, the more space I keep encroaching upon.
Yeah.
So, do you ever get enough space? Is what I guess I would ask. Or is there such a thing as,
Lionel says, I didn't know you were co-starring today. Oh, there he's done now. So Russ is off the TV.
oh, no more
Oh,
Russ?
there's back again, all excited about something.
Russ is always excited. I bet it's Fort Worth Studios, and he made me sign up for Fort Worth Studios. So he encouraged me to sign up for their.
Lionel said,
See, I think it's just the nature of the beast. I don't think it has anything to do with anything other than it's one of those, it just takes a lot of space. So we'll see. All right. So that did not like going through there at all. So let's try this again to make sure I've got this threaded right. See what this looks like again. Yes, so apparently Fort Worth is now going to every other month. And as such, we have signed, I have asked to be put on the list for their subscription box. So they're not taking new subscribers at the moment, but they are taking a waiting list, I guess. So I did sign up on the waiting list because I do think they put out some amazing boxes. I've just never been willing to pay the price of those boxes. But I always enjoy watching rich people like Russ that have those boxes. All right.
Donnell said, the more space we have, the more pretty shiny items we buy.
Yeah, see, I love shiny, glittery stuff. Curtis loves the holidays, like Halloween and Christmas, because he knows we're gonna have lots of glitter.
We really do.
Glitter just makes the holiday to me.
Yeah. And Lorraine says that must be a Russ video marathon today.
I don't know what I have on back there. I usually start with one, and then I've got enough subscriptions that it just feeds one to the other.
Maureen says, while I was away, my sewing room got filled with other stuff.
Oh no, Maureen, how does that happen, right?
Katrina said she went from a 13-foot square room to barely an 8-foot square. There's no more room, and she's gotten rid of so much equipment.
I just can't imagine. I just got all my equipment. I'm not ready to start parting with it. And I talked to.
Hi, Joydy. Joydy just joined.
Hey, Joydy. How is Florida today? I did talk to Mr. Curtis earlier today because I do think we may end up oh my gosh, putting a Murphy bed in the guest bedroom and getting rid of the bed frame itself. And I may end up having to get rid of that dresser um, and just change some things out. But then I could actually make that my sewing room so I wouldn't be so cramped in here. So we're going to see how that looks and works out. I found a place online that you can actually custom design exactly what you want. And I thought it would really be cool on that wall to put we already have the queen bed, so we would keep the queen bed. It would just flip up into that wall unit. And then on both sides, they'll actually build custom designed bookshelves with or without doors and all that. And I'm not interested necessarily in the doors, but it would be nice to have all that additional shelf space and some things like that. So
Donnell said she emailed us something, so no rush on responding. She said, just letting you know I emailed you before you went.
oh, perfect. Thank you. I will look at that this evening.
Joydy wants to know what you're working
I am still, Joydy. It's very embarrassing when people like Russ say, "Oh, I've done 2 quilt tops," and Danielle's done, I think, 4 this week. Um, I am still working on the University of Louisville quilt, so now I'm trying to finish putting these together. So they'll be um, like this, and then all I have to do is put the 2 borders on. So maybe I'll get those done after the show, so y'all can see me work on a different project. I have a few quilt kits that I've bought that I probably should work on. So it would be nice to be able to work on another project besides these two. The problem is I'm in no hurry to get these done because as soon as I get these done, that means at some point someone is supposed to long arm these. And since we have only done one quilt on the long arm since I bought it last August, I keep encouraging Curtis to learn the long arm because there's a lot of husbands in the quilt group that actually do the long arming. They like the computer part of it. They like the programming. Um, so I keep hoping he'll want to dive in and do that while I continue to do this piece. But
Maybe eventually.
he says maybe eventually.
Darnell says, if it makes you feel better, John, they're crib size quilts, only the tops, small and quick.
You know, and I think that's why I enjoy doing totes and some other things is because I feel, you know, you get like a sense of accomplishment. I feel like I have worked on this quilt forever and ever and ever. And the reality is, I really haven't. It's only been during the lives that I have actually been able to devote the time. So um, before the live this afternoon, I actually went back in and did actually went back in and cut all this down, ironed it, and put it back.
What is it? Oh, this sewing from the wing.
Yeah.
I do not know how it got on.
So, but yeah, so it's been, you know, it's fun to have that kind of stuff, but it's just been crazy how much is there, how much has been going on, um, the different things that have been happening. So we'll figure out at some point. Um,
Yeah, I don't know how it came up.
you know, um,
Katrina says
oh,
that according to the almighty Googles, Henry Alexander isn't closing, but they're having their finally fall sale. Maybe that finally made someone think it was final. I don't know.
huh. I remember a few years ago we had one of the stores um, had a big going out for business sale. And of course, everybody missed the for business and swamping these stores buying stuff. I can't remember which chain did that. I think it was a regional chain. And people got really upset when they figured out what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it is just amazing sometimes.
Luane says that M.A. Couture did a video on the closing and is at a store buying fabric. So, who knows?
Hmm.
I mean, I guess the only way to find out is to go to the source and ask.
Just kind of crazy, isn't it? Hmm. And I see we've got a big bar on the screen. I have no idea how it got there, and I have no idea how to take it down. So we are new to StreamYard, and we are still learning
Oh, here you did something.
how StreamYard works.
Here, you must have did something
Oh,
because it's gone.
interesting.
What happened? Oh, we're good.
Interesting. Um, what else is in the comments?
Nothing. We're good.
Oh, we good? All right.
Saying hello and
So I can sew for a second. Let's see if we get the first one put together. I hope I didn't just drop a pin. It sounded like I did. I really hate stepping on pins. And I think I hate stepping on them, but I know someone else that hates it even more. Mm-hmm.
oh, Donnell told us to remove it you have to go into YouTube and unclick the live reactions. But we got it done. We got it off. We're good.
Thank you. See, Danielle, she is slick when it comes to the technology. She is.
Russ says it's fun watching us play with banners.
Poor Russ. He's like, these guys, they'll eventually get it together. That's why he joins us every week, because he always wonders what we're going to, what else we're going to be working on. That's okay.
Yeah. Remind me to tell you about the steps on a pin story from Russ.
You know, Russ has a lot of stories, but the cool thing is now he'll be out here to tell us in person, since if I get you a mic, he's going to show up for QuiltCon. That got there easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought that was going to be a harder sale. Um, hmm. All right, sorry, concentrating because it's only been, I've only used this sewing machine a couple of times. Well, we might have to get Mama Jean to start teaching us some things. I will say, I do like StreamYard. It is pretty user friendly, but then you still have to, figure things out. I mean, all right. This is not liking all of that. Nope, didn't like that at all. And now we get to rip and sew a little bit. Now I feel like I'm doing a Sean, because it did not like all of that. All those seams. That's
Wayne
one thing.
says, need his sister to come on and give more little Russ stories.
Oh, I think Russ tells on himself enough. Poor Russ has got to go back now to work on Monday after being off all week. That's not any fun. And if it's like my work, they just let everything sit there. It's like, really? Because when you're gone, it seems like everybody calls me about everything. But when I'm gone, apparently it's all, well, we'll wait for John. That's all right. That's what pays the bills. That's why we can have the toys we have.
Donnell says, StreamYard is one of the best streaming softwares. I love it for having guests, as it is easy and the guest doesn't have to download. Oh, the guy who sews is here. He says, good day.
Oh, that's Sean. So good day, Sean. I was just talking about you because I had to get my seam ripper out. I don't seam rip that often, it doesn't seem like, which I guess is a good thing. But definitely got plenty going on in this one area. And so it really does make a difference. But I am so anxious to get these sections just all put together so we can have some real fun.
John says he recognizes the fabric in the background. And he says, good day, John and Curtis. So
yeah, he definitely knows the fabric in the background. You can't live anywhere in or around Virginia and not know a Hokie. So that is actually, just so you know, Sean, that is for John. John finally did a quilt for himself. And even though I did not go to Virginia Tech, I am a very big Virginia Tech fan. We lived in the Blacksburg area for a few years. My son graduated from high school up in that area. And I actually taught for Virginia Tech for 3 years and was not on campus the morning of the massacre, but was teaching that year, that semester, and had many folks that were impacted by that tragedy. So very scary. You just never know what's going on with people or what's
No.
going on out there nowadays.
Oh, somebody by the name of Flossen1 is here. Flossn1.
Oh,
And
Flossin.
they said go Hokies as well.
Yeah, go Hokies. People like their Hokie birds. I'm not sure that there's a stranger mascot. I will remember the first year that we moved to Virginia Tech. Oh my gosh. I literally lived 5 houses from Christiansburg High School. I lived on Independence Boulevard. Hmm. Now, I really wish I hadn't just stuck that pin in my thumb.
Oh, are you okay?
Yep. No blood, so I'm okay. That's why I don't like to pin things. But yeah, we lived in Christiansburg for, gosh, I guess almost 10 years. So very much like that area. It's just such a cool area up there. So much to do. All right. I may have actually got the first one done. I think I'm going to speed this up a little. Oh, see, I hate when it goes.
Sean says some of the minor league baseball teams have interesting mascots. Montgomery Biscuits is one. And Flossin says yes, behind Farmhouse Restaurant.
Yes. Yes. I remember Farmhouse Restaurant. That man, that brings back a lot of memories. So my son still considers that home because we moved there when he was in 7th grade. He ended up graduating high school up there. And when he went into the Air Force, that's where he entered. So he still considers that to be his home. So now he's down in Alcoa, Tennessee. All right, so let's see how bad I did on this. Oh my goodness, it may almost work. So look at that.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Hmm.
Elaine says, I'm in love with the Bananas baseball team mascot. Split the banana.
Who was it that they just had a crazy baseball? They're like the Harlem Globetrotters, but they're for baseball. And is it the Bananas? Is that what they're called? They were just here because we have, what do they call us? The Cactus League
Yeah.
for spring training. And of course, Phoenix had the losing team in the World Series last year. But still, we made it to the World Series. So it was a very exciting time to be here. Um, so that said, it's just amazing to me the sports and that we have in this area and what goes on and what happens around here. So I won't say that I am the biggest sports fan. I do enjoy football games. Curtis and I actually had, prior to COVID, we had season tickets to the Arizona Cardinals, who weren't any better than they are at the moment. But that year, you could buy season tickets. Um, like $500, I think, for 2 seats, and you could sit. You got two reserved seats every ball game. You got parking. And I guess that was it. But you got every home game. And that year, we actually saw Pittsburgh and I think Seattle. I can't remember what teams we all got to see, but for the price, you just couldn't beat it. And you got to see some really big names in the sport. And so it was pretty exciting. I mean, you can't help but to love the atmosphere and the excitement and the possibility that they could have, possibly win a game, but it didn't happen so much that year. But that's okay. We still had a good time. We still supported the local team, And what do they say, Curtis? Protect the nest. So we helped protect the nest that year. So, because it certainly needed some protection. So now we have a new coach, and I think we're getting another new coach. So moving right along and trying to figure out how to play sports in this area. All right. Now let me try to pin again, see if I can do better this time. Sorry, I have been so dehydrated today, and it's because we've been running most of the day. Tonight, I'm making a Mexican chicken that Curtis found on at the grocery yesterday on discount. So all I have to do is heat that up, and we'll have rice-a-roni Mexican rice. We really like that, which has kind of been interesting because I could eat Mexican every day. Curtis could take it or leave it. He likes it occasionally, and we've had it. We had it Friday, Saturday, and now Sunday, which usually never happens. So it is kind of strange, but we've had a lot of Mexican this weekend. But that's okay. I like Mexican food. But see,
You do love your
I do love my Mexican food. And see, here in Arizona, just now, not even dinner time yet. So Curtis got all the laundry done today. So we've had a big weekend. So I hate doing laundry. He doesn't. I do hate it. He doesn't seem to mind it.
Now I want Filiberto.
We're going to buy him Filibertos when he comes out for QuiltCon. But you got to get a microphone first. You have to get a microphone. So.
And Joydy says that she likes Mexican burritos, chips, etc. Yum.
And we just actually found, it was kind of interesting. We just found a new. Oh. Me too. Thanks, Sean, for being here. Sean really helped us get started. He was the one that kind of helped us get over the fright of going live. And, it's just, we're so blessed to have the YouTube community that we do, that we're able to share and talk. And because I tell you, I work in human resources and I deal with a lot of things. And, there's just, just being out in the world any given day. I mean, the world's just become such an ugly place sometimes. And to be able to have the camaraderie that we do, that we're able to do some banter, that we're able to share back and forth, um, make fun of people a little bit, but we everything is in jest and such good humor here. I mean, I love to watch Ian when he gets tickled and something just hits him, and because it's funny because after it hits him again for the next 15 minutes. He has a really hard time recovering from some of that sometimes, which just makes it even more funny and entertaining. But I think it's nice that, all of our shows have become so reality based that it's not reality anymore because that's just not how people live and do things. So, mm. Ah, look at that. I got a second one done. Mm. This could end up being a Christmas present this year, right? Because
Now wants tortilla chips and some guacamole because of all of its Mexican stuff. Oh, Maureen LeClaire had asked, what is Mexican chicken? So you may want to explain.
I don't know what Mexican chicken is. So it's a pre-mixed chicken breast. So it's a big packet of chicken that he found on sale yesterday, and it already is mixed with it's been marinated in some different Mexican salsas. I know it had cilantro in it, lime. I don't remember what else.
Cilantro, lime, and I think that's it. It was very basic. There wasn't a lot of stuff on it.
So I'll probably just put it in the oven and just bake it over.
But we're having Asian vegetables with it. So we're having a little bit of Mexican and a little bit of Asian because I like certain vegetables to eat. I'm a big broccoli fan, and I found something at the store and wanted a little something more than just broccoli. So it's a little broccoli, um, mushroom concoction with soy sauce. So it should be pretty good.
Should be very interesting. So I'm not a big vegetable eater because I was raised in the South. So, I need my vegetables cooked, and I need to be sure that they're dead before I eat them. Curtis grew up in the North, so he likes his vegetables crunchy and raw, even though they claim they've been cooked. So, yesterday I told him why he was at the grocery texting me, well, pick up some type of vegetable to go with the Mexican because we do like the rice-a-roni Mexican rice. For some reason, that's really been kind of become our go-to. It's cheap and it's easy to make. Uh, so he brings home a bag of Chinese vegetables to go with the Mexican chicken. So for dinner tonight, we are having a international cuisine.
We are.
And this morning, I made Ina Gardner's blueberry ricotta tort.
Yes. No. What wasn't it like a bread? I thought it was a blueberry bread.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. They wouldn't call it bread since I put it in the spring pan. But it was actually turned out really good. It was made with fresh blueberries. It wasn't as bad to make as I thought. It was made with ricotta cheese and sour cream and butter and sugar, a little bit of flour, a couple of cups of blueberries. But it really did turn out good.
Donnell's leaving. She
Oh,
says it's family time. She says she loves us and she hopes everyone has an awesome night.
have a good weekend or a good evening, Danielle. So yeah, that was kind of exciting. I did that
Russ
this morning.
says, speaking of raised in the South, I saw they're now selling bacon grease at the grocery store. I instantly said we always had that natural.
I remember my grandmother had a couple of things. One thing is she always had a big coffee cup full of bacon grease in her refrigerator. So she always had fresh bacon grease. She also had a big thing of Fisher's. Fisher was the hey Vera. Fisher's was like the local, if you bought bologna and all that kind of stuff, they were the butcher or whatever. I think they were more regional, but she always had a big tub of lard because I remember when she made boiled potatoes, she put a big scoop of lard in her boiled potatoes. That is very Southern. The one thing I remember most about being Southern and moving to South Carolina is we always grew up with sweet tea. My mother never put sugar in her tea, so I never drank sweet tea growing up. And I remember going to South Carolina and I accidentally ordered tea one time and learned real quick I always had to tell them unsweet tea. And now I know why so many Southerners are diabetic.
Oh. Say hello to Dale.
Hey, Dale. Thank you for joining. Sorry we missed you earlier. But I remember what was crazy for me with living in South Carolina is one of the local restaurants we went to, and we ordered tea. And I remember the waitress said, "Well, did you want that unsweet or did you want tea syrup or unsweet?" And I was like, "What in the world is tea syrup?" But apparently, that's when you put so much sugar in it that it just almost looks like syrup. I thought, oh my gosh, I can't imagine drinking that because I still can't drink. I like a little bit of Splenda and that in my coffee and my creamer and that, but I can't. I still can't drink sugar in my tea because I just wasn't raised that way. So it just tastes strange to me to have sugar in my tea. Okay, no. Russ says when he worked at Waffle House, I made the best sweet tea. The first shift customer started to ask on which side I made.
Oh, that just came up.
How crazy is that?
And Lorraine says nothing better than a gallon of sweet sun tea.
Does I mean, it just
No, thank you. You know me from the north. We like our sun tea or our unsweetened tea, and then I put my own.
yeah. And you understand why some of the Northerners are all cranky? It's because they don't have enough sugar.
We're sweet enough as it. We're sweet enough without.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Now you sound like me.
Mm. Oh my goodness. All right. If I get this one stitch done, I will be ready to just do
Sally
borders.
no tea or coffee for me. Just not a fan. Well, when coffee became Kahlua.
I still like my coffee, and it's funny because the group I work with, um, we float in and out of the office, so not everybody's there every day. But it is amazing to me that I think literally I'm about the only one. I know I'm the only one on my team that drinks coffee, but I think I'm the only one on the entire floor that drinks coffee. And it's just funny. I don't know. Because Lord, all these youngins growing up, they're all drinking their Starbucks and that nowadays. So not like they weren't raised on coffee. Even my grandkids understand Starbucks, and I was like, I don't think they should understand Starbucks, but I don't think they get Starbucks, but I think they go.
Joy says she loves Long Island iced tea.
Oh, I like Long Island iced tea. Sometimes it's embarrassing after I drink a couple of Long Island's iced teas.
Russ says they have a Starbucks on campus and he doesn't understand coffee people. Katrina says her dad used to make coffee where he worked. He took about 30 pots a day.
Yeah. And now we're spoiled because we all get fresh brewed Keurigs now.
Long Island iced tea is 95% special cola. Sally knows. Yes, right.
She is right. Sally's done a little bit of everything because I thought Sally worked for American Airlines too as a customer service agent. Thought we talked about that last time. So if that's the case, that means Sally's had several jobs in her employment career. I will agree that I think Starbucks has a strong, almost bitter taste. When they came out with the new blend, the blonde or whatever, was much better. Curtis won't drink coffee, so. Oh. He doesn't drink coffee, but I do. In fact, it was bad because one day I got up and I fried my Keurig because I was in a hurry. I was working from home that day. I was frustrated because I went to get my coffee and realized for some reason I didn't start the coffee. So I went over and pushed all the buttons, put my cup under it, went on and did something else, came back to get it, only to realize that the reason I hadn't started my coffee was because I hadn't put the water reservoir on the Keurig. And so I ended up burning up the machine because the Keurig wasn't smart enough to know that it wasn't on there. And so I immediately had to get online and get Walmart delivery to bring me a new Keurig maker that afternoon. So I did not go more than 6 hours without my coffee maker. Yes.
And Vera doesn't like Starbucks either. She says it's bitter.
I grew up in Kentucky, and in Kentucky, everything was a Coke. So if you wanted a Sprite or a 7 Up or whatever, we still called it Coke. So we went to the store to get Cokes, and we came home with Cokes.
Sally says she worked between Air Cal and American for 31 years. Her bartending was part of her job only when moving back there to where she lives now at the bowling alley. She ran the desk and bartending was part of it.
Oh, that's cool. I think being a bartender like at a bowling alley, I think it's just such a cool club. But here we have such a nice bowling alley. They actually just gutted it last summer. put all new lanes, all ball returns, everything in. Um, and we actually have bought bowling balls. We've only been a couple of times, but really just enjoy it. It's just, because it's a 55 plus community, it's just nice.
Yeah.
All right, so I finally got all this together. So look, all I have to do now is put borders on.
Who's this, that one?
That's for my niece who graduated from the University of Louisville.
The
So,
other one is for Joe.
yep. And it's funny because my cousin watches this. So say hi, Erin, because she'll be watching this tomorrow or this week. Um, and she laughs because she thinks it's funny how we talk about the family on here, knowing that the family never watches it. So,
Aaron, tell Carrie we said happy birthday.
yes. Tell my nephew I said happy birthday because I think I forgot to mail cards this year, which is nothing new. I think everybody in the family is used to. One year I get it right, the next 2 years I just totally miss it. For some reason, it didn't pop up in my calendar reminders because it usually does. So I don't know what happened, but anyways, all right. So I got one quilt top done. How awesome is that? Oh, Joey says she really likes this and she knows that my niece is going to be very happy. That's very sweet. Thank you. I know she will. Number one, she loves anything handmade. And then she likes, and she's just a huge U of L fan, but that's where she got her bachelor's and master's and all that. So, mm-mm-mm. Oh, Dale says everything in Texas is Coke too. If you ask for a Coke, they will ask you what kind. Yeah, it drives me nuts here because I very much was raised in the South, very much raised on Coke, and it's more of a rarity out here. So most of the restaurants, if you go in and order Coke, they'll ask you if Pepsi is okay. Okay, if I wanted a Pepsi, I would have ordered a Pepsi. I don't like Pepsi. So that's when we end up drinking water or tea quite a bit, just because I won't tell you anymore. They're charging $3. Didn't we go somewhere the other day? It was $3.50.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that I'm so old that I remember when, but even McDonald's, as expensive as they gotten, you can get any soft drink at McDonald's for $1.29, and I remember when that was a dollar.
Yeah, I agree. Vera says she liked the quilt pattern that you used for the team. She quilted and finished 2 donation quilts.
Oh, look at you go, girl. Vera, I am very proud of you. How awesome is that? Thank you. I found this quilt pattern on Facebook, and if I knew where I found it on Facebook, I would absolutely give them credit for it. It was something quick and easy. And as I got this Virginia Tech one put together, I just really liked the way it turned out. And I thought, you know what? Let me do one for my niece, which turned into let me do one for her husband. And that's how we ended up.
Russ says there's something fundamentally wrong with the product. You have to put Jack or rum into to make it taste good.
All right. So, by the way, I was raised in Kentucky. So, you would never put Jack in anything. You would put Makers, or now the big thing is Woodford Reserve, and you would never dilute Woodford Reserve with any type of brown cola. So, but yes, and unfortunately, I do like Jack Daniels, which always upset my father. My father was um, never happy that I grew up in bourbon country and yet would drink a whiskey that was made in Tennessee. Um, but we had quite a bit of bourbon for the Derby.
We did. I'm surprised by it. We of all the bourbon, and remember, um, Joe brought the bourbon too, and then we opened it.
Yes, one of our neighbors actually brought me the commemorative bottle of the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby, and it brought me the Woodford Reserve commemorative bottle in that. Um, as a gift for having them, inviting them in that. And they're a really great couple. They just live a couple of doors down. So we have some really good neighbors that we get to socialize with in that. And that's the nice thing about being out here in this community is Um, most of the folks out here aren't very stressed. They all get along pretty easily, but they can do that because they don't have to work. They all feel bad. Oh, that's right. You still have to work. Yes, I still have a mortgage and more toys that I probably don't need, but I think I need. So, yes, I still work. And thank you for reminding me. That is what it is. Some day I'll be like Sally and be able to stay home all day. And hopefully my grandson will be close and want to come be part, be with us. But he needs to grow up a little bit and calm down a whole lot. He does. He still brings up to his mother. He's 4 or 5. 5? Still brings up to his mother that he has not got to see Papa John's house. He doesn't understand why he hasn't been out to the house, that he wants to come see the house. And I'm not very happy with her answers. So we'll be at the beach with him in a couple of weeks. But it's just really funny because, like, he's somehow fixated on the fact that he's been to all these other places but has yet to see my house. And wants to be here, which I would love to have him for a week. We have the pools. We have 2 zoos out in Phoenix. Um,
Sally says she's
72, Sally. Mm-mm-mm.
Katrina says the year before last, she made her son's advent calendar with small bottles of bourbon and whiskey. This past year, he had a sampler of rums. Not sure what this year will be. Maybe vodka
Or tequila.
Oh yeah.
That's a really cute idea, though. I have never thought about that.
Maureen says her grandson is 30 years old, but he's been with me his entire life.
Aw, how special is some of that, right? I mean, the different situations make different things happen. But, at the same time, what a special blessing that can be as well. So you just never know what's going on in everybody's life. We've all got so much happening and so much going on. And, sometimes we just forget that um, life can be crazy for us all. I hate when I push the wrong button twice. All right, folks, let's see how this one out. Still learning to do the 1/4 inch seam on this machine. Not sure.
Maureen says that.
Aw, they need to. My daughter has always figured at some point she'll end up with me and taking care of me, but I think she also knows I'm just so independent and crazy. But unfortunately, my daughter has my personality 100%. Would you say that?
Yes.
Hers loves being on vacation with us because he gets 2 of us. All right, look how cute this turned out.
Yeah, that is cute. Look at that.
That really is going to make a cute quilt. All right, so
His niece has lived with his mom her entire life. From birth to today, and even after her own mother moved, she stayed with grandma.
aw, grandparents are special. We love being special. So my daughter says she doesn't understand where all my patience come from because I didn't seem to have that when they were younger. I said I did have patience. You all just tested it multiple times every day was the problem. But we do good on vacation.
We do.
Her kids are so good, and we go out and we see other kids, and it's like, okay, no, you really don't get how good your kids are. And maybe I just have a different thermometer too because we don't get to see them but a couple of times a year. But we do make the most of it when we do get to see them.
Oh, and Dale said they love the quilt.
Oh, thank you.
And Katrina says she loves that her grands can go back with their parents.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, we went home for Easter. We had such a good time being with the kids and that, but getting on the plane and coming back to just our normal is so quiet. So it's just interesting. All right, folks. So we are getting to the top of the hour. I am going to work on finishing those quilts hopefully this week. So next weekend, you will definitely see me working on something different because we will be at the Park Home up in northern Arizona where it is much cooler. And so that will be crazy. Crazy as well because we're already in the 90s. I don't think we've really been in the hundreds much.
I think 1 or 2 days.
Yeah. So, but it's in,
Coming.
we wake up there and it's 40. It's like, okay, we're waking up here and it's 78. So not quite ready for that temperature change, but that's why we wanted to be up there. So, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining the channel. That means so much to us. We're approaching 850 subscribers. Have no idea how we got there. Never thought we would have that many. We appreciate the banter. We appreciate the opportunity to just chat and just learn more about everyone and be able to share what's going on in our lives. So, with all that said, until next time, happy crafting.
Bye.